Function with Purpose podcast. All things health, wellness, fitness, and education through the physical therapy perspective. I am Dr. Amy Bullock, owner and founder of Fortress Physical Therapy. Fortress PT is here to serve the Charlotte metro area by highlighting the importance of how and why physical therapy should be a part of your health and wellness lifestyle. Here we go. Welcome to Season 4, Episode 7, Function with Purpose podcast. This is Dr. Amy coming at you. How's everybody? Thanks for the listen. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good late evening. Maybe you're sipping on some awesome coffee. I love coffee. Side note, coffee rant. My best friend got me a coffee subscription that I can hand pick which coffees I want. Oh my gosh, I'm totally gonna keep this rolling. And I like fresh beans. I like to grind the beans myself, and I like to French press. But I think I'm gonna start getting into pour over. I don't know how confident I would be with that, but anywho, okay. I love coffee, and I like my coffee black, and I like medium and dark roast. Okay. If you have a favorite, drop it in your comments or in the comment below. Or shoot me your favorite. I would definitely like to try it out. Okay, so today's topic, free weights. So like the barbell, dumbbell, kettlebells, perhaps specifically dumbbells and kettlebells versus exercise machines. Like those machines that you commonly see at Planet Fitness or 24-hour fitness and Anytime Fitness, like the Nautilus equipment, the bicep curl machine. So which is better? This is my opinion, just so you guys know. I'm disclosing this, but I'm going to start with the one that I favor. Some of you may already have guessed the answer. Free equipment, hands down, 100%. Why? Why would I choose free equipment over machines that set you up in the perfect position or the optimal position so you can get your pump on like Arnold? I like free weights or free equipment, i.e. dumbbells, kettlebells, barbell, because it really helps us learn our, what I like to say, motor control capabilities. And it also gives us insight if there's like an imbalance or a difference between our right arm and left arm, or even our right leg and left leg, or even some core instability. You might have more control or more ability to focus on your quality of motion, and the use of free weights will help get you into full available range of motion about a joint. So, for example, pressing a dumbbell overhead as opposed to sitting on the machine at one of those Globo gyms that sets you up in an optimal position. Who knows if it's even optimal, number one, right? Everybody's built different. Some people are short, some people are tall, some have long arms, long legs, short torso, long torso. But anyway, getting into a shoulder press machine that will most likely not give you full range of motion. So the use of free equipment is more versatile, right? It can be used for more compound movements. A good example is a burpee dumbbell deadlift. So you have a hand on each dumbbell that is equal in weight. You perform a burpee on the floor with your hands on the dumbbell, and then you stand up, and then you do a deadlift, or you just stand up with the dumbbells at your side. Talk about a strong stimulus. Talk about working on straining the muscles and not only working on coordination, but as you stand up from that burpee, when I pick up and perform the deadlift portion, am I equal weight bearing on both sides? My core probably has to kick in a little bit more, and I have to be mindful on my shoulder position. I can't be rounded at my shoulders. I got to have a good solid back retraction to keep my shoulder blades aligned. So free equipment just gives you more insight, more intel, and it's more transferable to real life movements and patterns, right? So the burpee dumbbell deadlift example I just went over, say you're, you know, playing with your niece or nephew on the floor and you are on your belly, and then you stand up and you're like, oh my gosh, there's this heavy toy that I want to pick up of theirs on either side, and it requires both of my arms. Well, after I stand up and do a kind of like a burpee, when you think about it, right? And then that heavy toy is in between my legs, or maybe it's on one side where I can lift it up with one hand, and I'm going to deadlift it up and carry it in my hand. Oh my gosh, right? But then you go to the other side of the spectrum, machines. Machines have they don't really have a constant load to them. It depends on the machine and the way the angles are, or the axis of rotations there are, and how many cables, how many pulleys are within that system. Now I'm not saying they're bad for you. I think they do have their time and place, and it gives you a different stimulus, but it commonly puts us in the minimal effective position. Almost like we're like robots and we must stay in that position when we perform that movement, right? Um, it can definitely help isolate some specific movement patterns. So reverting back to like Arnold Schwarzenegger, we always think of Arnold Schwarzenegger for his biceps, right? So, you get on the bicep curl machine and you're curling. That's really going to hone in and isolate that biceps muscle and give you some good tension. So, I think the exercise machines are cool, but you can get more bang for your buck to really get more insight using free weights or free equipment that aren't in a pulley system or anything like that. So, but exercise machines, they're not necessarily known as like safe positions, but I think if someone is unfamiliar with lifting weights or getting resistance training in, I think it's a good place to help individuals get exposed to weightlifting or resistance training, so they get an idea. And then you kind of slowly mix in some dumbbell and kettlebell work, right? So that they can start developing where their body is in space. Do they favor one side versus the other, etc., right? Because the use of free weight equipment, dumbbells, kettlebells, barbell, mimics or is transferable to real life movement patterns and capabilities, right? Getting up off the floor, well, you got to get in a lunge position or a half kneeling position, and maybe you're hanging on to your niece and nephew and they're hanging on your back like, like a monkey, and you're trying to stand up with them on your back. Like that is transferable using free weights as opposed to machines, right? Now, I used to do machines in the past. That's all I was exposed to. I didn't know how to do a devil press with the dumbbells. I was never exposed to stuff like that until I went down the CrossFit route, and then now I'm on this functional bodybuilding route that hybrids a little bit of everything. It's hands down free weight equipment all the way. But if you're starting out, I don't want you to be in an unfamiliar environment. So I think, getting on the pulley machines and cables is totally appropriate. And then exposing you to the use of dumbbells and kettlebells and the barbell. You just have to find someone who knows what they're doing, not just some random fitness quote unquote expert that's on the internet and they just have a million videos on YouTube and literally just kind of maybe take your money. Anywho, that's another rabbit hole to go down to. So exercise machines versus free weights, which is better? In my eyes, my professional opinion, definitely free weights. It gives you so much more insight on what is going on with your body and some things that you might need to work on, because there might be some asymmetries and imbalances from left to right. But the big key thing is the use of free equipment. It's transferable to real life movement patterns. 100%. So here at Fortress, I do specifically do some programming, online programming that is geared towards the individual. And I like to hybrid some like physical therapy, exercise, rehab capabilities into that after we take you through a thorough assessment. But, if you have any questions, definitely let us know. Reach out, Fortress Physical Therapy. If you're in the Charlotte surrounding area, I would love to work with you. If you have any questions, definitely send us a DM. I'm very active on Instagram. And let's lift things and put them down and be strong, be resilient, and have fun and live pain-free. Function with purpose. That's a wrap for today's episode, Function with Purpose podcast. For more information on this episode, please check out the show notes within your podcast app. Be sure to subscribe, like, share, or drop your comments and questions below. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Google, YouTube, and LinkedIn. Thanks for the listen. Pursuit, precision, purpose.